day 2 of Roma. We're on the oldest bridge in Rome, built around 40 or 50 BC. So good way to start the morning.
That's right.
You can come along with us as we explore Rome.
So we think we're gonna start the morning with a tour, audio tour that Marshall downloaded of the Jewish ghetto, and then we'll try to find something to eat someplace, and then at 5:30 we have a class that is making pizza and tiramisu, and before that, oh yeah, what is it, 1 o'clock?
Yep.
1 o'clock we have a tour of the Colosseum.
And that will get us into the Roman Forum and all the ruins that are considered the heart of the early Roman Empire.
Yeah, so off we go. We've got a busy day.
Sounds good. Yes, a busy day for sure. And as you can see, a beautiful day. It was sunny, it was in the 70s, and we headed straight into the Jewish ghetto. And you'll see we're walking around and we're approaching the entrance where the wall used to be that surrounded the ghetto. And the first stop is, as we mentioned, and the first stop in the ghetto is the synagogue.
Yeah, so I was hesitant to use the word ghetto because of its connotation, but that's what it's called, and there's a reason for that.
Yes. It is an area where people are forced into. Clearly it's nice it's not there now, but they still have that feel and the community. So it was a very unique experience. We're looking at the synagogue right now. They call it the Great Synagogue, and it still is a cultural center for Jews in Rome. And as we're walking through this piazza, you'll see it's a mix of the Roman ruins from 2 centuries ago, and then more current Jewish ghetto architecture.
So the tour that we downloaded was very well done. We'll put the link down below in the description because is it Rick
Steves?
Rick Steves. He has a lot of different tours, audio tours, and they were very well done. So I would highly recommend his audio tours, and I think when we go back to Rome, we're gonna probably skip the human tour guide in favor of the audio tour, because it felt like so authentic. And then, if you wanted to stay at a spot longer than the other, you could just pause and stay and then poke around as much as you wanted. And then when you decide you want to pick the tour back up, you just hit play again.
Absolutely. The ability to just stay in one location, think about it, and not feel like you're going to be losing your group, it made this morning terrific. And I think we've sped up some areas, we've had to cut some areas. We spent an hour plus in the Jewish ghetto, and we were able to really listen, learn, and kind of experience the whole morning.
Yeah, I think we spent more than an hour because we walked, and you can see this is really a vibrant community. I love how the restaurants have tables and chairs just out in the street, and really it's extremely walkable, very few cars, and it was just very relaxing. You can see pretty soon we did find some food for breakfast and a cappuccino, but just really cool area now, and lots of kosher restaurants, and the food smelled amazing.
Yeah, it's Rome. I can speak for both of us. We loved Rome because it's definitely touristy, but it kept the authenticity.
Yeah.
there. So it wasn't like overrun with t-shirts and tourist traps and things like that. So it's busy, no doubt about it. And you can see this is still fairly early morning and crowds are forming, but it didn't lose the authentic feel of all the areas you'll see us in today.
Yeah.
There's your
Cappuccino.
I was gonna say with the heart.
The pastries. Yeah. So this Jewish area does have a dark past, and it was really, they were the Jewish community, all the folks were forced into this 7-acre area in the 1500s, and it's there were even darker days ahead, unfortunately. In 1943, during World War II, everybody was gathered up and sent to concentration camps.
Yeah, there are remnants and plaques and you're seeing a few on the wall that commemorate. I think it was October 6th or 7th, the day that goes down in infamy when they were rounded up. And in a bit, you'll see, if you want to talk about the little placards on the street.
Yeah, the brass placards on the street. Each one represents a person that was taken to the concentration camps, and very few people ever made it back. So it was sad. Like, it really, you could feel it walking down through that narrow street.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, those little plaques in front of the doors, to think that they lived I'm sure they would think a very happy, successful life, and then they were ripped from their home and never to come back, and the home still stays there into other people's hands, but it's kind of a little remnant of them still there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we headed to the other side of the Jewish ghetto, and this is, I guess in a way, I think is the north side, and this was a fountain, as you can see, the Turtle Fountain name, that was actually built, and they added turtles, the famous artist.
Then we headed back up to the street. We decided to go into this gallery, and we were greeted by the artist. He was actually working on a piece of art when we walked in. His name was Gabriel Levy, and he was excited that we were excited about his work. So he invited us down to his studio downstairs. So we went down a very steep set of stairs, and he came down with us and told us about his art and how he was inspired to create these pieces. And then he showed us a couple pieces of really specialness about them that we were surprised with.
Yeah, you'll see it in a moment when he turns the lights out. And if you're not familiar, these are all Hebrew letters. So all his art is making these Hebrew letters in mixed media. And I also think we've got a photo of him looking at the back, and some of them actually have a special little compartment in the back for mementos or valuables or anything like that. It was brilliant.
Yeah, some of them have these hidden boxes, but they all have some art in the back of them.
Yes.
He built those in, so that was neat.
Very special.
Yeah.
Right, we've winding through the Jewish ghetto and just showing a few tunnels and homes, and all in all, we highly recommend going there and taking the walking tour. As you said, we are at the Coliseum. We found our tour. It's an express tour for an hour and a half, and then we'll have time to walk around the Forum and I don't even know how to pronounce it, but the Palantino Hill, or the hill that gives a great overlook of most of the ruins.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing this piece of history.
Well, you were looking forward to it. Anything to share?
That's a trick question. Yes. You know, I'm glad we didn't do any more than an hour and a half. I'll say that. It was impressive to see the structures, the architecture, and how big and tall and massive everything was.
Yeah, the first part, walking in and then as you'll see going, we're at the main floor, and then seeing all the intricacies of tunnels underneath the main floor, and to think of the era that it was built, it was a wonder to see. And then when you take a tour, they explain everything and what happened and who built it, and I just began to sink in terms of my level of enthusiasm.
Well, to think how many people died in that Colosseum was sobering at best.
Yeah, we're average American background, but we have, we either were in the nosebleed seats because we wouldn't have been Roman citizens. You were.
Babe, I can't even watch any kind of movies with violence in them at all, or horror movies or anything like that. So I wouldn't have been able to stay to watch anything that took place in the Colosseum.
And we probably would have been fighting the lions or the slave labor, so we wouldn't have really even had to worry about the seating. So it was an amazing wonder to see the building, and then when you thought about the stories, it wasn't as fun as we thought it would be.
Yeah. I don't think I have any interest in going back to the Colosseum, but the Roman Forum was interesting. I will say that Rick Steves does have a walking tour audio recording of the Roman Forum, and I think next time we should use that to go through, because to be honest, we didn't really know what we were looking at walking through the Roman Forum. We could read the placards if we could get close enough, but I really think the audio tour would be a great idea.
Yeah.
And it's free to download and walk along with it.
Right. The architecture you can see is amazing, and so I feel like you said, we missed the overall picture, and a walking tour at our own pace would be right on. I'm still glad we did that. I found it very interesting to think of. This is in a way the cradle of democracy that a lot of our current countries are based on.
Now it's time to move on to the main event for the evening, which was so fun. I would highly recommend. We booked this excursion, this cooking class through Expedia actually, and it was so fun. I would definitely do it again. It was a tiramisu and pizza making class at an Italian restaurant, and our instructors Pierre and Simone were amazing. We had so much fun. We met 8 other amazing people, and we had such a fun night. We laughed, we ate, we had such a good time meeting people from all over. And would you do it again?
Yeah, this is one of the things where we had really high expectations, and it beat it. I mean, it really beat it. It was just a great grand time, and it lingered longer than I thought even. So, and to start with tiramisu, I mean, it was the pizza making that kind of grabbed me. I'm like, oh, we'll make tiramisu. But that was a lot of fun.
That was so fun. And we learned how to make tiramisu. And what was great about making your own, as you put the lady fingers into the espresso, you can determine how strong you want the coffee flavor to be. However, when we go back to Rome and we do another cooking class, I think we should do the pasta making.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love that.
Yeah. Lots of options in Italy for cooking classes.
Yeah. And, you're watching us make tiramisu and pizza side by side, and there wasn't any competition between...
No, there wasn't. Mine was perfecto.
And mine was good enough-o. Yeah, I mean, they literally would come around and be like, oh, yours is perfecto. And mine would be like, nice, good going. So,
that's good.
Yes.
Although when it came to the pizza making, yeah, that was interesting. I'll say I enjoyed the tiramisu making actually more than the pizza making. But
I just think it's because you were perfecto with the first part.
Maybe.
So here we are with our fingers and stirring up the yeast water in the dough, or in the flour.
Yeah, and they use 00 flour.
Which means nothing to me, but something to chefs and bakers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I like making the pizza dough.
I know, you got right into it. And you'll notice Marshall's immediately in with 2 hands, and I'm like, I've got the single finger going. I don't know what how I thought I was going to make dough that way.
You know, what's interesting is the tiramisu we made is what we ate.
Yes.
Pizza dough at this restaurant and true pizza dough takes 2 days to rise. Mm-hmm. So we made the dough, and then they informed us that the dough would be donated to a local orphanage or
a
mission to use. And then they brought out dough that we could then proceed to build the pizza on. So I don't feel we missed anything.
No. Mm-mm.
And our dough was used.
Mm-hmm. What I think was funny, this professional chef, he kept touching my dough. Clearly I was not doing it properly because I needed assistance. I don't know, every few seconds it seemed.
So yeah, so this is the chef that wasn't part of that. So he's probably like, oh, here they come again. Here's another 8 people that is kicking me out of my own kitchen.
Yeah.
So he was really nice, but his patience wasn't super
It was
high.
funny. I mean, he was trying to be so helpful, but clearly I just wasn't doing it to his satisfaction. But we got there. We got a pizza out of it in the end. But yeah, I watched this back and I have to laugh at how much assistance I clearly needed. I mean, look how fast he was.
Yeah, and just the technique of spreading it out. It was really. I think he spent more time between us. I like to think it's not because we were remedial pizza dough flatteners, but it was good to see what he was doing.
Yeah.
We're not in a special place. We're literally in the place that he and others make the pizza. Mm-hmm. So I felt very professional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll tell you, that pizza oven was hot. We just walked by it and you could just, I think they said it was over 725 degrees or something like that. It was
and it was like 2 minutes or less to fire the pizza. So it came out fast once we were done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which you'll see it soon, but yeah, that was so fun when they brought the pizza out. Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you is they don't cut the pizza into slices in Rome. And other people at the table who were part of this class said, yeah, no, when you order a pizza at a restaurant in Rome, it just comes the whole pie and you just get a fork and knife.
And a number of us still cut them in triangular slices and folded it. But, it's a hard habit to break.
Walking back to our apartment after the pizza making, just look how pretty the streets of Rome are at night. It was so peaceful and relaxing, and it just had such an ambiance.
Yeah, and you've seen, hopefully, or watch our other videos of other places. This was special, and it was a special city, and we were really much more on our own time, and it just worked perfectly.
Just such a special feel in Rome. I can't wait to go back.
And we are, so we're looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. It would really help our channel if you would like, subscribe, and comment below. And thank you for watching.
Yeah, we love doing these, and we also love to hear from you. So definitely put your thoughts down for us.